Do you often find yourself obsessed with someone who doesn't reciprocate your feelings? Stay tuned as we unravel the complexities of love and attachment in today's video. Welcome to Cheap Talk. Ever feel ridiculously drawn to someone even when it's clearly not good for you? Like, you know it's a mess, but you can't stop. Going back? Yeah?
Oh, totally. It's like a moth to a flame, right? Even if that flame is gonna, totally singe your wings.
Exactly. And that's what we're talking about today, this whole traumatic infatuation thing. It's this intense, almost obsessive attraction to someone, and it can be a real emotional roller coaster. It's not your typical falling in love scenario, right?
No, definitely not. With falling in love, there's joy, sure, but it's balanced. This traumatic infatuation sounds way more unhinged, like you're losing yourself in it.
Exactly. You're spot on there. The input text we are discussing mentions this psychiatrist, Christie, who describes it as this almost compulsive, repetitive behavior. It's like some switch flips in your brain, and suddenly all your needs and desires are projected onto this one person. They become this perfect puzzle piece, filling a void you didn't even realize you had. Hmm.
So it's like finding someone who seems to perfectly understand you, but in a way that's actually super unhealthy?
Yeah, it's more like they fit into your pre-existing trauma, not necessarily you as a person. Like maybe you crave being rescued, so you're drawn to a savior type. Or if you're a dependent personality, you might find yourself attracted to someone controlling. It's not really about love so much as fulfilling this deeper, often unconscious need, you know?
Right. So the initial high is intense because it feels like you found the one, but it's actually more about what validation, a sense of belonging?
It can manifest in various ways, like the need for constant attention, the desire to be someone's everything. And then when they don't reciprocate, it's like withdrawal. It's a vicious cycle, blocking them, unblocking them, chasing that initial high.
Oh, I've so been there. The anxiety is crippling. So how do you tell if it's traumatic infatuation or just like normal relationship drama?
Well, healthy love is mutually beneficial. It helps you grow, you know? This is the opposite. It drains you. You start doubting yourself. Your security crumbles. You overgive. You sacrifice everything. You become a shell of your former self.
So you're saying it's not actually about the other person at all. It's about trying to heal some past hurt through this messed up connection.
Bingo. The input text describes it as chasing something that doesn't exist. It's this unconscious picking of someone who can't or won't meet your needs. And then the really messed up part, you end up sacrificing your values, your principles, everything, just to get a crumb of their attention. It can totally warp your idea of what a healthy relationship even is.
So someone caught in this cycle might not even recognize real love when it shows up? That's heartbreaking. But what do you do? How do you break free?
Well, it's not easy, right? It takes time, it takes work. But recognizing the pattern is the first step. And trying to appreciate the beauty in the ordinary, in the healthy, even if it seems less exciting at first. It's about retraining your brain, basically. If any of this resonates with you, hit that like button and subscribe. We dive into all sorts of relationship stuff here on Cheap Talk, and your support helps us keep these conversations going.
And honestly, just knowing you're not alone in this can be a huge help.
Absolutely. Talking about it helps to normalize the struggle and hopefully encourages others to seek help if they need it. Thanks for breaking this down for us today. It's been really insightful. So we've talked about how traumatic infatuation can really mess with your sense of self, right? But the input text here brings up this idea of regression, which I think is super important. Like, it's one thing to feel giddy and act a little silly when you're falling for someone. We've all been there, right?
Oh, totally. Like, who hasn't used a baby voice with their partner? Am I right? It's cute, it's fun, within reason.
Exactly. But this regression thing in traumatic infatuation, it's different. It's like way more intense. The input describes it as basically reverting to a childlike state. It's not just playful immaturity, it's like a core part of your personality gets overwritten. Like poof.
Whoa. Okay, so it's not just about acting a little childish, it's a deeper, almost fundamental shift in how you operate. So, what does that even look like in practice? I mean, how do you tell the difference?
Well, in healthy relationships, you can be silly, sure, but you still maintain a sense of self. You know, you can still make adult decisions, set boundaries, all that stuff. But with this traumatic infatuation, it's like you lose that ability. You become overly dependent, like a child needing a parent. You lose your grounding, you know?
Yeah, I'm starting to see the distinction here. It's like in a healthy relationship, you take turns being the parent, right? Like sometimes you need support, sometimes they do. It's a give and take.
Right. It's that balance, that reciprocal caretaking that's key. But with traumatic infatuation, that balance is totally off. The input text mentions losing ego control, which basically means you're not in the driver's seat anymore. Your emotions are all over the place and you react impulsively instead of like thinking things through, like responding rationally.
So it's like you're not just acting like a child, your emotional regulation is actually at a child's level? That's kind of terrifying.
Exactly. And that's where the danger lies, right? Because if you can't control your own emotions and actions, you're vulnerable. You're more likely to be manipulated to stay in toxic situations because you're driven by these primal needs rather than logic or reason. It can be so hard to see it when you are in it. If this sounds familiar, hit that like button and subscribe. We talk about all kinds of relationship stuff here on Cheap Talk. We appreciate all your support.
Definitely. And remember, talking about it is the first step. You're not alone in this. Thanks for shedding light on this tricky topic. It's really eye-opening.
So we were talking about how traumatic infatuation can like totally derail your emotional maturity, right? But this input takes it a step further with this acting out thing. It's not just about feeling childlike, it's about actually um, behaving that way?
Yeah? Like, what does that even mean in a relationship context? Give me an example.
Well, think about it like this. In a healthy relationship, if you're feeling insecure, you might talk to your partner about it, right? You communicate your needs like a grown up. But with traumatic infatuation, the input says you might act out these needs instead. Like maybe you start demanding constant reassurance or throw a tantrum if they don't respond to your texts immediately.
Oh, wow. So it's like those primal needs are driving the bus, not logic or reason. It's like your inner child is in control.
Exactly. And the input mentions this intense separation anxiety, like a baby who needs their caregiver constantly. It's this desperate need for validation, for attention, that drives these pretty extreme behaviors, blocking them, unblocking them, the whole 9 yards. Hmm.
Ugh, the anxiety is palpable just thinking about it. So, like, how do you even begin to unravel that mess? It sounds exhausting.
Well, the input talks about this sense of familiarity, like a repeating pattern. It's as if you're subconsciously picking people who trigger this childlike response in you, almost like you're playing out a pre written script.
Oh, that's fascinating. So it's not really about them at all. It's about trying to heal some past hurt through this dysfunctional connection.
Right. The input actually quotes therapist Susan Forward, who says it's this unconscious drive to fix old wounds. You're drawn to these situations hoping for a different outcome, like pressing a broken light switch and expecting it to work this time.
That's actually really profound. So, what's the solution? How do you break the cycle? If any of this resonates with you, please hit that like button and subscribe for more relationship insights from Cheap Talk. We really appreciate your support.
Well, it's not about blaming yourself, that's for sure. The input emphasizes self compassion. Recognizing the pattern is the first step, right? And then trying to like retrain your brain to find satisfaction in healthy, balanced relationships.
It sounds like a long journey, but recognizing the pattern is half the battle, isn't it? It's a good reminder that healing takes time. Thanks for breaking this down for us today. It's been really insightful. And if you've ever experienced something similar, share your story in the comments below. We'd love to hear from you.
So, picking up on this whole idea of repeating patterns, it's like we're drawn to what's familiar, even if it's not exactly healthy for us, right?
Totally. Like if your childhood was chaotic, you might subconsciously seek out drama in your adult relationships.
Yeah, exactly. It's like your brain recognizes a certain dynamic and latches onto it. This input, it's quoting Susan Ford again, she calls it an unconscious attempt to fix something from the past. Like you're trying to rewrite the script, get a different ending. Hmm.
Oh, that makes so much sense. It's like you're hoping this time with this person, it'll play out differently.
Right. But the problem is, and this is where that whole chasing something that doesn't exist thing comes back in, the other person isn't the problem. The real issue is that old wound that's still festering?
Yeah. So you're saying it's not about finding the right person, it's about healing yourself first?
Bingo. It's like trying to build a house on a shaky foundation. Doesn't matter how beautiful the house looks, eventually it's going to crumble.
So, what's the fix? How do you even begin to rebuild that foundation?
Well, the input talks about self awareness, recognizing the patterns like, oh, here I am again falling for someone unavailable. It's about understanding why you're drawn to these types of people.
Right, right. Recognizing the red flags before you get totally swept away.
Exactly. And it's about setting boundaries, learning to say no, prioritizing your own needs. That can be really tough, especially if you're used to putting everyone else first. It takes work, but it's worth it. If this sounds familiar, hit that like button and subscribe. We have tons of great relationship advice here on Cheap Talk.
Totally. And remember, you're not alone in this. Lots of people struggle with this stuff. Thanks for bringing this to light. It's definitely food for thought. Don't forget to check out the resources in the show notes for more information.
So, we were talking about how traumatic infatuation can make you act like totally out of character, right? But this input, it adds another layer to it, this whole idea of seeking out familiarity even when it's, well, toxic.
Yeah? Like, what do you mean by that?
Well, it's like if you grew up in a household where, say, affection was conditional, you might find yourself drawn to partners who are emotionally unavailable. It's like your subconscious is saying, oh, this feels familiar, even if it's not good for you. Hmm.
Right, so it's not really about the person, it's about recreating a familiar dynamic, even a dysfunctional one?
Exactly. This input quotes therapist Susan Forward again. She calls it an unconscious attempt to master old traumas by replaying them. It's like you're subconsciously trying to fix the past by getting a different ending this time around.
Oh, wow, that's deep. So, how do you break free from that? Like, how do you rewire your brain to seek out healthy relationships instead of repeating these toxic patterns?
Well, it starts with awareness, right? Recognizing the pattern. Like, hold up, am I falling for this unavailable type again? Then it's about actively choosing something different. It's like consciously stepping off that well worn path, even if the new path feels unfamiliar and maybe even a little scary at first. And if this is hitting home for you, don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe for more from Cheap Talk. We're here to help you navigate the messy world of relationships, one conversation at a time. Hmm.
Absolutely. And remember, you are not alone in this. Tons of people are working through similar stuff. Talking about it is a huge first step. Thanks for shedding light on this important topic.
And that, folks, wraps up another episode of Cheap Talk. We hope you found this discussion on traumatic infatuation, uh, well, insightful, thought provoking, and maybe even a little bit liberating. Remember, healthy relationships are built on mutual respect, trust, and open communication. It's okay to ask for help, and it's okay to prioritize your own well being. So take care of yourselves, and we'll catch you in the next episode. Bye for now.
Bye, everyone.